Hello everyone, Pastor Ian, the Krabby Crafter here. And we're going to just do sort of a quick video. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this video yet, if I'm going to do a whole project, but I wanted to show you this. This is a canvas that I had gotten on clearance. I got a whole bunch of these, and I actually sprayed them with distress spray stains and oxides. Actually, I think I used oxides because it's been sitting on my shelf for a while. And I used fall colors because I knew I was going to use it for something fall because, you know, burlap, it just has that hay kind of quality to it. And I'm like, okay. And then I was, got a bunch of paper in my stash, and I think, let's just make something. It's been sitting here for a while. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of show you a technique here. What I want to do with this is we're going to lay a foundation. We're going to glue this down with some Mod Podge. But what I want to do is I want to show you something that I learned maybe about tearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tear this, but I want you to notice something. What I'm going to, as I tear, if you tear, notice how when I'm tearing towards me, see how white paper is being exposed? And that's actually what I want. And I just sort of a natural tear there, okay? If you tear, let me see if I can get it to work. If you tear away from me, if you tear down, you won't get that. Notice what happens is the white's on this side now. So if you want that white, if you don't want the white exposed, tear away from you. It's a little trickier, but you can do it. But I like to tear towards me, and in tearing towards me, that's going to expose that white, and then that's going to allow me to ink that and kind of have my own little edge there, just if you will. So, and I'm just tearing and trying to, I don't want to get into the truck. I want to keep that. That's the focal point. But I don't want this to be as large as it was. So we're tearing down through here, and we're just trying to kind of, and I do want to keep those leaves at the bottom. So we're going to get rid of some of the wall on the side here. So when you tear towards you expose the white. And that's just something, I don't know if maybe you've ever thought of that before, if you've ever noticed that, if you've ever wondered. Sometimes I've been inking and working on projects, and I was like, why didn't the edge come out different? Why did it come out different than the other one? And then I realized, oh, well, that's why. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my, and I'm actually going to put these off camera. I'm going to put the ink off camera. I've got a Simon Says stamp, whatever you call it, one of those little corner brackets, and that allows it to stay there. So I'm going to ink up this blending tool, and then I'm just going to, and I'm actually using scorched timber. And so then we're just going to go around the edges, and we're going to ink that up with my mini blending tool. And I can actually ink right over at the top of that if I need to get a little more stability. And this kind of is giving it's even giving the paper kind of a burnt edge look. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm reaching right through the camera there. This is bad planning on my part. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just bring this over here, and then we'll just ink this way. It'll move around a little bit. Actually, I could do that. That'll help a little bit. Yep, there we go. Okay. And now we're just going to ink these edges just to get that, just to take the white away. If you don't want to ink and you don't want the white, then again, tear away from you, and you won't have these white edges. But I like inked paper. So we're going to ink this up real quick. Almost done. Not worried about that because we're going to cover that up. Okay, almost there. And I'm really not sure where I'm going to go with this project yet. This is a new idea for me. I've never really, I haven't made one like this on the burlap. I've had this sitting in my craft room for a while. I've got all kinds of substrates. I've got wood that I've stained and colored, and it's just been sitting there. Oh, look at, oh, I like that. Gosh, I like that. Almost kind of, if I'd have torn it a little better, could have torn it in the shape of the state of Georgia, which is where I'm from. All right, so there we go. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. And now I'm going to grab my decoupage brush, and we're just gonna glue this down. Okay. Let's see if I can get my Mod Podge open. There we go. Make sure my brush. Yeah, this is such an old brush, and it's getting so stiff. So we're going to loosen up the bristles there a little bit. Okay. And I do have other ones I could use, but I think this will work fine. So we're just going to take now, and we're just going to, and I'm not worried about going off the edge. Not worried about that at all. Just trying to get glue on the back of the paper. It's not going to dry that fast. It'll dry quick enough though. So you don't want to be too slow with this. If it's a thin enough coat of Mod Podge, you know, then yeah, you're definitely gonna, you know, it may or may not want to adhere in places. And I want to make sure that this adheres nice and solid. And you could just also just put the glue onto the canvas. All right. So let's put that, let's just push that down just like that. And let's just put that, glue that down onto the canvas. And we're just going to press it down. And probably could have used a little more glue. Nope, it's grabbing. It's grabbing. So I'm going to push my way around the edges. Now, what I forgot to do when I'm working with I have glued on canvas before, is because you've got that, it's soft in the middle there. If you put something underneath it, a book, anything that will fit, okay, and you get that extra support, okay? So now when I'm pressing down, it's not trying to go through the canvas. And as I move this, that little block under there, the little stamping platform under there, whatever you call that, the acrylic block, is actually helping to hold it. So there we go. And then we can pull that out of the way. So that's just a little technique you can use there. Okay? Well, there we go. That looks super good. I like that. I like that edge. I like the way this is looking. Now I just need to figure out what I'm going to do next. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to go through my craft room and I'm going to see what I want to do. I do have some leaves that I've die cut, so I may want to put some leaves around the bottom. Try and find a sentiment, something that says, I don't know, happy fall or something. You know, just see if I want to maybe put some pieces of ephemera around there. I love Tim Holtz, but here's the deal. He does Halloween and he does Christmas. Not a lot of fall ephemera, but there is general ephemera that he does. It could be used for fall. If he did a fall, that would get me. I do Halloween okay. Christmas is my jam. I'm all about Christmas. I'm making like crazy. Christmas cards, Christmas plaques, Christmas everything, Christmas decoupage. Love it. But if he came out with some fall, if there was some good fall ephemera out there, I'm afraid that would be the one that got me. That got me right there. I'm just, yeah, you know what, I'm just getting the extra glue off the brush. I'm not too worried. It's not like I'm trying to get glue on the edges here. I'm not worried about this coming up. So I'm just doing that just because. All right, so there we go. So there's that. So let me see what I've got. Let me go through my stash, kind of figure out what I want to do. I got these leftover squares from a previous project. Ooh, that's super pretty. Wow. Okay. I might have to just throw a couple. All right. I don't know what we're going to do here. We're going to find out. We don't know. I had a drill sergeant used to say, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. He'd get on to us. You got to get your act together. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something. And it was never good. It was usually a lot of push-ups or running for us or something like that. Anyways, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something, and it will be fun. It won't be like push-ups. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. And Houston, we have a problem. The problem is I have ADD, ADHD, OCD, every letter of the alphabet. I have a container. I have containers with all my craft supplies. This is my fall supply container. And I buy things at the end of the year, at the end of fall season that, you know, when they go on clearance. And I load up on stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've got overload here. So let me show you a couple things. These are some backgrounds that I'd worked on. This is just ready to go just for something later on. It's in there. I can cut leaves out of it or whatever. This was an embossed piece that I did with one of the, I think this was a Tim Holtz folder, falling leaves. But so that's ready to be used on a card or something. I do have these stickabilities. The Hobby Lobby is our friend, especially when, you know, 40, 50% off. And then at the end of the year when they 60, 75, and if you're really catch them at the right time and there's anything left, 90% off. This is actually a little too bright for this project. We won't use those, but I wanted to show you that. And I wanted to show you that one of the things I did buy at Hobby Lobby is you buy these wonderful wooden leaves. These are so cool. And why are these cool? What's awesome about these? Well, I'll show you. You can spray them. You can color them with spray stain. This is, I think, there's a little bit of mica in there, but this is mostly just a brown spray stain, and I did spray both sides of it. This is just, I think that might have been, I'm not sure what color that was because this was last year, but I sprayed these guys with mica stains. And oh my gosh, look at that sparkle, and just look at that, and you can, and it doesn't come off. Once it's in the wood, you'll get a little flaming, but not much. Once it goes into the wood and dries, you get these beautiful leaves. And I just put these in a splat box, and we just spray. We just go to town. And so these guys are just so much fun. I love spraying wood. I love working with the spray stains in wood. So I wanted to show you that. And I'm trying to decide, I want to use one of these. They're just a little too big for this project. So I'm not going to use these on this one. So, but I did want you to see those. And I'm going to show you these too. I'm actually going to do a tutorial on these. This was when I first started crafting. And you can tell, okay? It's just paper wrapped in paper. We put a little stamp there, and all things give thanks. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. It's one of the easiest little things I ever made. And basically what this is you put a little packet of like apple cider spice or hot chocolate in there, and you just, it sits down in there, and the ribbon holds it in place. So you have this ribbon, you just set it down in there, and then you pull this through, and then you just tie it up so that it looks like this. This one's actually, I need to untie this one. And it, you just push it, you push it down in there, and then you just pull this through, and it's nice and snug. It's inside this little envelope, and you can give these out as gifts for the holidays, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, whatever. So you see how cheesy, and all this is just stickers on paper. There's no ink blending. There's nothing. We're gonna do a tutorial, and we're gonna take this. We're gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna go all emerald on these. So look forward to that. That's coming soon. So I wanted to show you that. Okay. Hobby Lobby is our friend. Look at this. Pre-made mini Happy Fall, which I think this is going to fit perfectly. I feel like we're going to wind up using that. So I've got it off to the side here. We've got fall mum sticker flowers that we've wanted to flower it up. We've got those ready to go. You've got, this, this is a little sparkly, but then I really like these. So I'm thinking I'm going to throw a pumpkin on those. Those are going to go right where they are. It speaks to me. That's where those need to be. So those are going to go right there. You got these beautiful sunflowers. You got these sunflower 3-dimensional paper, and you got this burlap looking, which is a little too bright for this one, but you can ink these. You could spray them. You can go over them with an ink blending tool. You can ink those. Okay, that's cloth. It'll ink. You got these sunflower stickers. Got these felt sunflower stickers. Got these. Okay, and we got these. Did I already show us these? No, these are different than maybe they are the same ones. Nope, these are different. And we got, all right, well, I'm going through all my stash. Where'd they go? Here we go. I'm making a mess. I love it. Looky there. So this is paper. This is flat, but these are actually wooden or foam. These are dimensional stickers. I might wind up using these instead of these. I don't know. Well, we're gonna go sparkle, a little bit of sparkle on this. And check this out. I got these cool trucks. More glass. Look at this. You got pumpkins. Just so many options here. Leaves, clothespins. You can, whatever. Okay. All right. That being said, and just because it's here in the box, and I want to show you leaves that I have made and cut out. Tim talks about compartmentalizing. Well, looky there. Look at all the beautiful leaves. And yes, that's mica stains. And I think it's actually the seasonal mica stains. And then on top of that, we have all these beautiful little leaves here. And these are the ones I think we're actually going to wind up using on this project because they're the right size, I think. So let me reach in here and grab a handful of leaves and show you what I mean. Boom. Leaves. And all this was is paper that I had stained and inked up, and then we just took our leaf dies and we just started cutting. Look at how this is already starting to come together. Just throwing the leaves around this. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no idea what the finished product's going to look like, but it's going to be good. Look at that. Look at those colors. Look at that. Okay. And then, oh, there's a big one. Boom. Let's throw you in there too. Oh, not enough leaves? There's some more. There's another one. Oh, not enough leaves? There's more leaves. Okay. These were all pre-cut and ready to go from the year before. And we got these cool mini pumpkins, which could be used in like a vignette. Obviously, wouldn't use them on a burlap piece like that. And let's see. Okay. Okay. I think that might be everything I wanted to show you. I might got a little carried away there. A little bit of Echo Park ephemera. We won't use anything. I don't think there's anything in here that's really going to fit the style. So that kind of got ruled out pretty quick. But again, Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby, Hobby Lobby. This is all Hobby Lobby. And just, oh, that's good. All right, I got to keep that one out. I have a feeling that cornucopia is going to wind up in this project. I need to put that over there. I love these guys. Look at this stuff. These are just the coolest. I mean, come on. There's Tim and Mario. I can't get them out of my head. Come on. He got me into this. It was the first video I ever saw was a Tim Holtz video, and that's why I'm an addict. Tim Holtz addict. That's why I'm hooked on all things Tim. All right, and see, we got all the, look at these. Aren't these just adorable? I might use one of those. And then, just because, look at this. Look, leaf and pumpkin stickers. And they're already a little colored, but you can color them in if you want. Oh, by the way, distress watercolor pencils. Yeah. Just color them in. Dries. The wood will absorb it. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. All right. Brutus Monroe has a stamp that I absolutely love. I got it years ago. And then I just fussy cut out around the top. It doesn't have a die to go with it, but you can stamp it. And then this is colored with watercolor pencils, or excuse me, just colored pencils. I love coloring with colored pencils. If you're interested in that and you want to see more, put it in the comments, and I will do a video on coloring with colored pencils. You will not get an argument with me from that. Okay, I need to organize the chaos now. I need to figure out exactly what I want to do here. I know we're going to go with these leaves. I know we're going with the sparkle. I know we're going to use some pumpkins, but I do need to find a sentiment that will fit somewhere on there. So I'm going to do a little pre-layout work, then we'll come back and we'll start putting this rascal together. And I'm so excited. I didn't know what I was going to do, but here's the thing. Once you start playing, the creative juices start flowing. Sometimes it's not the case, but here's what I found. When you have enough stuff, and in this case, I may have a little too much, it just all of a sudden you see it coming together. When I forgot all about these leaves until I opened it up. And then here's this beautiful, beautiful batch of goodness just ready to go on this project. I can't wait to start gluing these down and putting these on this project. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I am back. So here's what we've got so far. Let me tell you what I do with all of my little packages like this. I just take the scissors and cut the top off. I've already done that on all of these off camera. And the reason for that is now you can leave them in there, and then you just slide out the piece in. You can see what you want to do, and then just kind of tuck it back in however you feel, and that way you can store it. You just tuck them back in when you're done with them, and then once you've used them all up, you just throw them away. So that's pretty cool. So I want to show you this. We're going to put these guys here. I thought about using these small pumpkins, but I just feel like there's too much of a clash. It's too much sparkle. I think this is enough. These little guys don't quite work for me on this project, but these guys are working perfect. So what we're actually going to do, and again, what's neat about being able to do this, you just pull it out and I can see, oh yeah, I like that. I like the pumpkins there. So we're actually going to use a couple of those pumpkins. So first things first, I'm going to get our Mod Podge back out over here. And then the fall, the Happy Fall that I showed you, the 4-pack, by the way, 2 of them are orange and 2 of them are raw wood. Okay, so that means you can color it any color you want. or you could leave it raw. But I like this orange. And if I wanted to grunge this up a little bit, I could. If I wanted to kind of darken the edge, I could hit it with a foam tool or something. But I actually like that. So we're going to leave that there. We're also going to put some leaves behind it. So nothing's glued down yet. We're going to put this beautiful bright sunflower up there along with a couple other accent pieces to go around it. But for now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead, I want to get these guys put down. And so we're going to go ahead and just get some glue on our brush and get some glue on the back of our paper here. And then we are going to glue it down. I'm going to press and hold this a little bit. This is specialty paper. So it's a little thicker, a little thicker, a little heavier cardstock. So I want to make sure that it grabs hold. So we're going to leave that there. We're just going to press it down. We're going to take just a second to make sure that we get some good adhesion there, and we don't want to mess with that. So we want that glue to dry on there nice and firm. And then we're going to get some Mod Podge. We're going to come across the back of this. It's okay if we're going off the paper. We're not worried about that because we're going to be gluing a lot of stuff down. And we want that Mod Podge. And it's going to dry. It's going to dry and you're not going to see it. So, and if you're worried about it, you just do it. Now, I will say, and I need to be careful here, this glitter paper, however they printed it, whatever they did to it, if you get glue on it, it loses the glitter. The glitter gets hidden beneath the glue. So right there where I've actually got glue on that, once that dries, you actually won't see the glitter. It doesn't pull the glitter off because the glitter is printed into the paper. It's a printed design. But for some reason it gets hidden behind the glue. All right, so we're pressing this down and we're just gonna make sure we get some good adhesion there. Okay. All right, I like that. I like that. And I don't want to get too much glue on the background because it'll affect the burlap. It'll affect the texture. But again, not too worried about that. And I'll tell you what, I know we're gonna put him there. So we're gonna go ahead and this comes with a little sticker. This is actually a little, well, I think it's a sticker. It is. But I want to make sure it sticks. So we're going to add some glue, and then we're gonna make sure that it sticks, and we're gonna put it there, and we're just gonna press it down. Now I'm going over the frame. That's okay. I want that for a lot of reasons. This is actually going to be a hanging piece. Some pieces I do, if you've seen my other projects, we'll put them in like a little folding stand, and you would want it to stand up. But if you go off the edges on the bottom, you're not going to be able to put it into a stand. You can go off the top, it's fine. You could still put this in a stand, but for now, I don't want to do that. And I'm trying to, okay, I don't want to lift that up. There's glue there. Well, if you're worried, yeah, and I'm going to just tuck a little more glue right under there, and then just push down because I don't trust that corner. I feel like I wasn't getting enough glue there. The thing about a decoupage piece or a Mod Podge piece, everything doesn't have to, the edges don't have to be perfect. Everything will have to be glued down perfectly. You want those loose edges. You want those pieces that move. At least I do. So I think I've said that in other videos. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pumpkins. We're going to peel off our pumpkin, and we are going to, and that's really good glue. I don't think we need to add glue to that. So we're just gonna stick that pumpkin right there in the middle, just like that. If you're not sure, if you're worried, if you feel a piece and it doesn't feel like it's got enough adhesion or tackiness to it, you can add glue. But this is going together really well. Actually, I'm gonna stop because I wanted to take one of these stickers, and I actually want to put it on that. All right, so let me pull it off of the backing. And again, these are very sticky too. And I want to, it helps if I put down the paintbrush. I want to put it right there. I love stickers. So that's cheating. Yep, well, I'm a cheater. I will cheat. Now we can grab our pumpkin and put him right. And in this one, I'm actually going to move him off to the side, and we're going to put him right there. And that way I get all this, and we're going to cover that up in just a second with one of these. I love these little corn stalks. Okay. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good glue, because it doesn't want to let go. Oh, golly. Okay. Well, there we go. And we're going to take and we're going to put them right there. It gets lost a little bit in the background, but that's okay. It just means it's something you have to look for on the project. You have to look a little closer, and I'm okay with that. I like it when people stop and look at my projects. I like to have pieces that you might miss the first time through and go, oh, it's actually corn there. So I'm okay with that. If you're not, don't do it. All right, do I want to add some more leaves? All right, I'm just looking, do I want to add another patch of corn? And do I want to add some corn down here? That's what I love about this. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I should have put those on first. That would have been pretty right there. Little batch of leaves there. Let's see. Do I want to put another? So this that you're watching right now, that's just part of the process. All right, I think we're going to stop. I think we're good there, because I am going to add my leaves. I'm going to add all the leaves that I had showed you before. So we got our pumpkins. Now, this is what I do. This is important. I'm finished with this. So I'm moving it out of sight, because if it stays in sight, I'm going to be tempted to grab it and do something with it, and I don't want to do that. I'm finished with these. Well, they came out of the bag, which is okay. You know what? I don't need to put in. I want to put another sunflower somewhere. So doing a quick look. No. Ooh, happy fall. Oh, we could bracket the sunflowers. I like that. I actually do like that. And then I've got all my leaves. I actually like that. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to, because I want to make sure, again, this is a sticky back. I'm going to go ahead and pull that piece off. The reason I do that is I didn't realize I had some that were stickers. I didn't realize they were stickers, and I glued them. But the problem is the glue was on the paper over the sticker. And so then what happened was when it actually just lifted off. And all I actually did was glue the sticker. I glued the sticker. I didn't actually glue down the object that I was trying to glue. So I've learned now, if it's a sticker, find out if it's a sticker and peel that off. I've got several projects I didn't realize were stickers, and I glued them down. And sometimes I'll go over the top with the decoupage, with the Mod Podge or the collage medium, and then that's okay because it's going to be sealed on there. But if you don't go over the top, then I looked and I was like, why is that piece coming? And I just lifted and it came right off, and what was left on the bottom was the sticker. I glued down the sticker paper, not the actual item. So hope that makes sense. Anyways. All right, so that's good. All right, we're done with those. Okay, I like that, but I'm also toying with using a couple of these. So I think I want to stick with the dimension. I don't know that I want to use one of these. Actually, I do. I actually like that right there, right coming kind of right off the corner there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this one, and I'm going to leave my happy fall there and let's put a sunflower sticker right there. All right, and we still haven't put our leaves on yet, so all right, the Happy Fall is going to go right there. And I'm not gluing some things down because I might want to tuck pieces down. Plus, I know, again, I'm going to put down a bunch of these leaves. I'm fixing to start putting leaves down, and I don't want to hide my leaves. Okay, all right. So let's grab some leaves, and let's start. Let's see. I don't like that. It's a little too green, a little too light. Okay, I like that one. I got my tweezers here. It works better with my tweezers. And so I love that. Love that. I think I like that. Yeah, so we're going to stack a nice little patch of leaves there. So I need something here to anchor, because these leaves, I like this, and I like the Happy Fall, but I want to put some more leaves here, so I need something to anchor them with. So let's see. Okay, I like that. A little dimension there. Yep, that's going to work. That overlaps that. That looks good. So we're going to put that there. And that's going to help anchor some more leaves. So we can tuck them in there. And just to give myself a little dimension, I'm going to grab a couple of these guys. And I'm actually going to put them, on the side here. I like this. So what you're watching right now is my process. I have to lay pieces down to see what I'm going to do and determine if I'm going to like it. And a lot of times I'll put it down and go, that looks terrible. So we don't do it. But I like this. One that fell out there. I guess he wants to be on the project somewhere. Ooh. Well, look at that. See, he just fell right out of the bag. I didn't even realize he was there. He was speaking to me. He was saying, please put me on the project. So that's where he's going to go. And then we're going to take, and I think we're going to tuck a couple of leaves. Yeah, have coming out from behind the Happy Fall. So I'm putting them on top, obviously, so that I'll know where to glue them. But these will be coming out from behind the Happy Fall. The Happy Fall will be on top of the leaves. And I think we're good there. We're going to anchor those with another one of these little guys right here. There we go. I like that. All right, now the fun part. We get to start gluing this down without forgetting what we were trying to do. So I'm going to take a minute and get everything organized and cleared up, and then we'll start gluing down to finish this project and take one final look at it before we do start gluing stuff down. I think I need a little bit more here. In fact, I can already tell it just looks like there's just big empty void there. So let's replace this one with this one. And let's lift this up just a little bit. And I think I like that better. There we go. Yeah, I like that. And I might, yep, there we go. See, I like that better. And these will go under the sign, and I may even tuck one or two more under there. All right, let me get some stuff ready and be right back. All right, here we go, guys. We are ready to start gluing stuff down. So I'm going to kind of start from the top and work my way down. And I am going to use, because it's easier, I do have fine tip applicator, but because I do like collage medium, we're actually going to go with that. And, oops, whoa, that's a lot of collage medium. So let's pull these out and steal some of that collage medium for that one. And for this one as well. And then let's go ahead and we're going to put that right in there, just like that. Now, when I'm tucking under like this, I just use the end of my I use the end of my tweezers to kind of press it down. Collage medium is going to grab pretty quickly, and it dries fairly quickly. So even a little bit that we put on these won't take long to dry. I got a little leaf under the way. There we go. A little part of that leaf in the way there. All right, we're going to put you right there. Press down. I'm trying to get underneath that sunflower leaf. It's a little tricky when you work like this, but it's not hard. You just have to, you just kind of have to, yeah, see, that's already dried up enough, that little extra. So let's go gently here. There was more in this bottle than I thought. There we go. All needs a drop. And again, I don't want the leaves all the way down. That's the whole point. We like the lift. We like the dimension to it, if you will. We just want it to stay. And this collage medium holds really well. It is not going anywhere. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue these little guys down. And this just takes just a drop. So this is like I guess I would say the most tedious part of the process. You just kind of glue and go. You just got to glue and go. But it's fun. It's again, this is relaxing for me. Hopefully it's relaxing for you. And so you just put once you put these down, by the way, too, once that collage medium grabs, these aren't coming up. So make sure you get everything where you want it. Alrighty. And that's so pretty. Yeah, I like that. And then just press all those down. Okay, just leave that. All right, let's come over here. You see this guy. Do I want to put this one? Yeah, let's glue this down first. And then we can tuck under. So we're going to put some collage medium. We're going to put you right there. This one might even, no, I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out. Okay. All right. Let's get a little more collage medium. Again, just putting it on the bottom. There we go. And just push and hold. Just give it a second. When you're gluing onto different substrates, sometimes paper to paper, that glue is going to grab and you're done. I mean, you're done pretty quickly. But we're dealing with, again, this burlap background. There might be some porous activity going on in there. So you just want to hold it and make sure you're getting it glued down. And then once you glue it down, don't mess with it. Give it time to glue. If we go back up to these probably won't come up. If I pulled them hard enough, I might be able to get them off. But we'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. All right, let's put you right there. Perfect. And that one's actually a little too loose. I'm actually going to put a little more glue under him. I'll show you how we're going to do that here in just a second. So we're just going to hold that. I do want it to lay down. I don't mind it coming up off the edge. But what I do want to do is just put a little more. So we're just going to put the glue right there. I can spin it back around. And then press down. Now you see the glue oozing out there. So that lets me know I've got enough glue there. And then we'll just take my little rag, dab off the excess. A lot of times I just scoop it up with my tweezers. You do want to just wipe your tweezers off, because if you don't do that, obviously you're going to glue your tweezers together. All right, I like that. That's coming together nicely. That's already glued down. I didn't think we had glued that yet, so let's do that one. Let's get this little guy put on. Put him right there. Now, let's pull him off to the side, and we're just kind of working my way around. Did I glue these down? No, these are not glued down yet. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm looking at, and sometimes this will happen. The stickers that we had put down, this one's wanting to come up. It's kind of, and it could be because of the burlap. So I'm trying to decide if that's going to come completely up. We're going to pull him up. Yeah. All right. So we're going to set him over there. We can use him for something else. These are kind of coming up too, but not as bad. Now you can glue these down, and if you use the right glue, you know what? Because Distress Collage Medium dries clear, and it shrinks, we can actually put Collage Medium on this. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm actually going to just use my finger here, and I'm going to put Collage Medium on it because I did like that, and I want to keep it on there. So I'm rubbing the Collage Medium all over it, and then we're going to just pick it up, and we're going to come back over here, and we're going to glue it right back down using the Collage Medium. It's not going to affect the sticker at all, okay? It's actually going to make it stay. It's going to hold it down. When you're dealing with the clear acetate around the outside of the actual printed design, you can see it's kind of milky looking down here. Maybe you can. Once that dries, you won't have that. So I like that, so that's why I wanted to glue that down. Now that's not going to come up now. That Collage Medium is going to hold it. That's not going anywhere. That one is not going anywhere. All right, let's go back to where we were here. Where were we? Oh yes, okay. These guys. Well, I'm not sure why I don't need my tweezers for these. We put a little glue. I'm going to put you right there. And just holding it just for a second. And grab our other one. And I'm going to put you, yep, right there. I like that. I like you can still see some of the edges of the paper where we had darkened it. And then we're covering a lot of this up. That's okay. But I like that better than if it had been, if we hadn't have torn it, you might have just seen the block edges. And I just don't like that. I don't like that on my projects. We're not worried about this Collage Medium. This is a non-stick mat, this silicone mat or whatever they call it, but it'll come, when that dries, that'll wipe right off. So we're not worried about that. I think the next thing I want to do is we want to put these leaves underneath this happy fall. And so what I need to do is kind of get an idea of where they're going. So I'm gonna here, we're gonna get a little creative here. And we're gonna put these, I don't want to cover up the tire. So I'm putting them kind of roughly where I'm gonna want them to go. And I'm gonna add another one just because I can. I think we're gonna do that. All right, so that being said, this one's going to go first. So again, little Collage Medium. We're going to put it right there. Boom. Grab our next one. So this is the process. It's just gluing down. And now, I don't always do it this way where I'm pulling pieces off. Sometimes I'll see the way I like it, wipe everything off, start gluing it down. And when you start gluing it down, of course, then you do come up with a very different piece. But if I'm laying pieces down and I really like the way it looks, then I leave them and I glue as I go. I just pick up and glue because I like that. That way I can get the same look. And then if I were to turn around and make another one of these, and I probably will, it's going to be completely different. My little handles on my tweezers are coming apart. I may have to run to Hobby Lobby tonight and grab another pair of reverse tweezers. Anyways. Let's put a little glue on the bottom. I don't know why I just grabbed my tweezer. I just said I don't need my tweezers. Now I'm grabbing my tweezers. I guess because I've got them in my hand. I don't know. Anyways, I'm actually going to put him right there. And then I think I'm going to grab one more off to the side here. I'm trying to scoop one up. Yeah, I like this guy. Let's put him down there. A little bit of glue, not much. And let's put you, there we go. There we go. I just totally picked that one up that was right there. All right. So you do have to give the Collage Medium a chance to grab hold. And if you have glue on your fingers and glue on that, when glue meets glue, it lifts. So that's what that was. I had a sticky finger. That's why that leaf came off. Don't panic. If you're like, oh, he just said that Collage Medium is great. It is. It's absolutely great. Oh yeah, those leaves are perfect. Oh, I like those leaves right there. Look at that. I'm trying to decide, do I want to throw one more kind of in here? Nah, I think we're gonna stick with this. Now when we glue this down, this is super easy. What I do with these is I just and you can do it however you want to do it. I just put drops around it. And then I'm actually going to rub it a little bit, maybe. I don't want too big of drops. You could just glue it straight down. Sometimes if I have a big drop, you'll see in a minute. What I do is I hit it with my hand, my finger. I go over it with my finger. Okay. And so like there's a little bit there. So we just kind of dab that, dab that, dab that one, dab that one. And just kind of, want to make sure we get it on and get it where we want it. And so I'm just tapping out the big bubbles, because when you put it on, glue's going to come out a little bit out of the bottom, and that's okay, because again, it's collage medium. And now I'm going to eyeball this, because once I put this down, there we go. I like that right there. And there's our happy fall. Yeah, you see that again. That burlap is given underneath me, so I'm going to grab my little block, and now when I press down, I can press firm. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to have to add another leaf right there, because that's not quite covered up the way I wanted it to be, but I do like that. Now let me see, what leaf do I want to, let me see, I've got a tiny leaf right here. Do I want to put one kind of, yep. That's what we're going to do to cover that up. So let's just grab this little guy right here. I just don't like the bottom of that leaf stem there. I'd rather that be kind of hid. So we're going to do that, and I'm flipping it up, because I don't want to glue it down. I want dimension on these leaves. I want it to look like the leaves are laying on the project, like these are actual leaves that are laying. So we're going to let that dry. And once all this is dry, you can go back through. See, this isn't coming up. Remember, see, that's not going to come out now. I'm not going to pull it hard, because it would tear it. But you see that? And see, what I can do now is I can go back and I can give myself a little dimension. I'm not going to do too much, because the other side of the leaf isn't colored. And if you see at the bottom, all you're going to see is the white paper. But I do like that. Once it's down, you can just go back over it and just kind of just give yourself a little bit of, and they have shaping tools, but you don't need them necessarily. I mean, unless you're just really going to do a lot of shaping, you can just use tweezers or craft pick. All right, so we're moving. Got some things that are kind of shaking around here, because I've been lifting and moving. So let's pull all this off. And let's figure out now. Let's see, this one, I know. We're going to put that one. He's going to go right there. We do like this guy. Looks like the colors on that. Man, I had so much fun making these. Yeah, I'm going to put this one down first. And again, just around the bottom, because then that's going to allow me to go back later and lift if I want to lift. And let's stick you right there. Just press, get it down there nice and good. Get it to hold. I'm going to put this one on, because it's going to go on top of that one. And see, I've already pulled all the leaves off, so I've totally forgotten the way I had them laid. But guess what? Doesn't matter, because now we're going with a different direction. I've glued this on so many times that it keeps coming off. Anyways, all right, let's see what's got. I think I actually want to go behind that one a little bit. So let's put this here. Let's put some glue on here. And let me see if I can. Yeah, I want that one behind that one. So he's not completely glued down yet. So let's put you, and then let's do that. There we go. Scoot that back down a little bit. My leaves are catching on each other. There we go. All right, now I gotta wait. Press and wait, just press and wait. And let's take this one. This one's gonna go right here. Yes, it is. I'm gonna let those dry just a second. See, this is glued, this is glued, this is glued. Everything is pretty, here. All right, here's the big test. Okay, yep, I got everything glued down that I want glued down so far. So I'm gonna just wait just a second before I put these last few leaves on, and I'm gonna look at it. And I love the way the truck still stands out. Got it covered a little bit more than I wanted to, but I like that paper, I like that look. This is just really nice. This is coming together nicely for me. And I've still got a whole pile of leaves over here if I wanna change anything. Oops. You'll probably notice a little edit jump there. It's where I bumped my camera, and we just hopefully I'll remember when I'm editing it to go back and cut that out. If not, then either you saw that or you didn't see it. Either it's there or it's not. But All right, so I like this. Trying to decide, this is holding well. This is glued down now, and you can still see that corn on there. It gets a little lost in the background, but when you tip it, there's a sparkle to it, which is what I like. So you can see that. That's what I like about the sparkly pieces. So this is gonna look so pretty. I'm gonna carry this upstairs in a little while when it's done, put it on our little table that we have made for the fall. All right, I think I'm ready to go ahead and put this one on. So we're gonna put some glue on the bottom of it. So just put my little glue bubble there, that's all you need. And then I'm just gonna kind of work it in where I want it. And we're gonna go right there with that, and then we're just gonna press down. And just wait for a second. And then we got one more leaf to go, well, actually two more, because I was gonna, well, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not done till I'm done. And right now, I'm not done. All right, originally I had this piece, but that's gonna kind of get, oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is coming together so nicely. And I just opened up that my little storage bin and realized I had all these leaves that I had made last year. So that worked out perfect for this project. All right, so we're gonna let all that dry, and I'm gonna take one more look because I was, we were gonna put this down at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, I actually like it right there. Happy fall. I like it here. I like it here. I have more of these, so yeah, that needs to go right there. And then we may put one more. So let's put some glue here, and let's put you right there. Okay, and come over here and grab another one out of my little bag of tricks. Well, two of them. They're sticking together. Oh, that's because that one is glued to that one. There we go. I didn't do that. It came that way. All right, let me take a look here. I really like one right there. I'm gonna have to put one right there because I really like that one. And we're just gonna tuck it in right there. And you can still read it. It says Happy Fall. All right. Give it a second. All righty. I think I'm just gonna look. I don't mind covering up that pump. I kind of feel like I need a third one up here. Because I got three there and the random ones here. Do I wanna I want to tuck one here. No. Just looking. I kind of like it there. I kind of like it up here. Kind of like it right off, hanging off the edge there. So guess what we're gonna do? Again, as I've said before, I like my pieces to kind of overflow from the project. And there we go. And we're going to leave that alone and let everything dry. We're going to put up our collage medium because when we close the lid on the glue, that's a sign that we're done, whether we're done or not. Move this stuff out of the way. So I didn't use any of these wooden ones, which are just so cool. I could actually throw one on there still. But you don't want to, don't overwork, don't underwork a project. Depends on what you're going for. For this one, I like that paper with the truck, so I wanted to spotlight it. We've got that. The Happy Fall gives us our fall message. And then we just got all these leaves that I'd cut, and they worked really well with these giant sunflowers. So there is our finished project. It looks really good when it's dry. When everything is good and solid and dry, I may go back and curl the leaves a little bit more, but you can see they're already sticking up off the edge of the paper. You've got some nice dimension. And what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll put I'm gonna flip it over slowly and gently because stuff is still drying. We put a little hanger on the back and we can hang it on the wall. And you can use the Velcro hangers, the like sticky ones, and just put one on there and one on the wall and stick it. You can put them on the side. Actually, if I did that, I'd put one on each side, and then you just stick it right on the wall. But I'll actually wind up going back and putting a hanger on this. And when I put the hanger on it, there's different little sawtooth hangers. There's a kind where you tap the nails in. We're not going to do that because I'd have to lay it flat and I'd have to nail it, and then I'd be worried I'd mess up the front. But what they do have are the sawtooth hangers with the little screws. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I'll put one right there and I'll just screw it right in, and then we'll be able to mount this on the wall. And see what we're talking about, the back of the leaves having the white. You don't want that to show. So if you curl them up too much, you know, you kind of lose the mystery of the project, the wonder of the project. But there you go, guys. Let me pull this up close. We can take a nice look at it. That's it. It's done. We're just letting it dry. Nice little happy fall collage piece there. So I had a lot of fun making this. I'm going to make another one. I've got several of these burlap pieces. This is the only one I sprayed because I was practicing with it. And like I said, it sat there for a year, never went back and did anything with the others. So I think I'm going to make another one, try something different. But look at all these leaves. And you could actually, and you see how these leaves are just like that, just laying on top of each other. I've done projects before. Don't feel like you're wasting your paper. Make more leaves. So, it took so much time to make them. I want to be peculiar. I'm real peculiar. Stop. Get that out of your head, okay? Make more leaves. I've got backgrounds ready to die cut, and I'll just sit and run them through the die cut machine, cut leaves, and I'll have a box full of leaves. In fact, I've got one over to the side that I forgot I had these, so I have another box that I've already started this year of leaves. Don't be afraid to use your stuff. So you could literally just strew the bottom of a project with leaves, like all these leaves, and just let them, and you don't have to be as precise like I was doing here. Just start gluing them down like a pile of leaves would look. They're going to be pointing in different directions. Don't be afraid to use your stuff. Just have fun with that. And you know, you want to do a little pumpkin patch, you got ready-made pumpkins there, little sunflower field, you know, whatever. Again, Hobby Lobby is my friend. I have to be careful when I go to Hobby Lobby because I am married and I would like to stay that way. And my wife comes home and goes, "Did you buy more crafts?" No, I didn't buy anything. And the truth is right now I'm not buying anything because I've just got so much that we've accumulated when we started this before COVID. And I'm rambling and you're probably tired of listening to me. But anyways, there you go, guys. Hope this has given you some ideas. As always, the ability to create, I believe, is a gift from God. So until next time, as always, happy crabby crafting. It's Pastor Ian saying, God bless.